welcome back to day 5 of the hanging garden build. I'm hoping that we are going to be getting onto some structure soon because it seems to be taking an awful lot of time. They're quite detailed, aren't they? Anyway, this is what we did in day 6, so we managed to get 5 plants done. Quite happy with those. I mean, I could curl these down. And I might very well do that when it goes on the model. We will see where it's going to go as to how I want to do it. Really quite happy about the little trough. I think that's kind of cute. And then we've got this, and today we are continuing with sunflowers, but we're also doing some other bits and pieces, which does really make me quite happy. So let me get my bits and pieces together and we will be rocking and rolling. Okay, so this is what we have. So I'm going to get on and make the table first, which is very spotted, like it's almost got damp in it. And we will come back to all of this. Let's get this going. So first of all, you need to slot these two together. So not too terrible. Doesn't really need gluing either, it's quite tight a fit. Put this on here. Next, as I break a piece. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, don't do that. Don't break a piece. And then put this on here. Obviously, I'm going to give that a moment to mend. I'm going to get some glue on it and get it mended. And just put that together. And I'll be back in a second, get that mended. Get it sitting there for a minute or two because it's wood glue, and then we will move on. But this is what it will look like just on the top there without the break. Alright, 1 second. Okay, what we will also be doing when that's set up better is put in some lace around it. Right, first things first, we are going to make a fruit bar, which is going to have these to make them look like tomatoes. I'm not sure how much I think they look like tomatoes, but they are going to go in here on a bed of this, which we haven't used before. It's a lighter green, so perhaps if I take the lid off the scissors. I do that all the time. So I'm going to open it up reasonably proper. Not particularly for this, but I know going forward sometimes it's easier to dip different things in. So let me get this open and put some tacky in the bottom here. And basically I'm going to put some green down, and then I need to sort that lid out. Actually, it's been a few days. I've been doing another build or two. And just sprinkle some of this in there and give that a moment while we don't need much. I'm going to get a little clip for that to keep it sealed. Not sure if we need, I think we need more of it today as well. We're going to go like so, get all this in. And like I say, don't need a lot of it, just need some. Being just difficult to pick up really. Okay, and then, don't need wood glue. I'm going to get some more tacky, which I'm just going to put into the corner. Out the way, I say. So I probably put everything in it. And then these, you want not the pointed end showing, you want the other one. I don't know how I feel about these. Don't overly look like tomatoes to me, but I think that's what it's trying to pretend. But then why would you have a dish of tomatoes on the table? Maybe it's meant to be some other fruit. I don't know. Okay. My tweezers really don't want to hold it. And you're just going to put all 3 in here. A pointy end down. And then like so. Last one. weird looking things. Not sure what they are. I mean, we used one on that other decoration before. Anyway, this roughly looks like it should, except for the base being on, which is this piece. So again, I'm going to use tacky for it. You could probably use super glue if you wanted, and have that roughly on there. And that can take a moment to set as well. Try and get it as straight as I can. Okay, I'll pop that to one side for a moment. It will go on our table. Our table might be okay to use. I'll just put this to one side. It doesn't look straight at all to me. Of course she knows I'm videoing. She does it every time. Every time I video, we start making noises. Hold on, let me cover her. Maybe she doesn't like me talking to you guys. Makes you wonder, doesn't it, what's going on with that? So we will need these two pieces as well. So again, I'm going to tackify it. Get myself in the process. Let's get it on the board. And it's just plain one. Just like so, just one sitting on top of the other. And I know they're both see-through, so you probably can't see too much. But it kind of looks like that. And that is going to go and sit to dry too. This, I think we're okay. And what we're going to do is fold this round, all the way around, and then cut it to size. So, let's get my tacky. I think tacky would probably be the best. I have B7000 to hand as well, in case I need that. I'm going to start one side, get it going. And you just want it on the edge going round. It's not difficult, is it? Pretty straightforward. I was expecting worst. Well, getting it to stay might be. And sticky. Okay. And I'm going to carry it along. Of course you might want to do it all in one go. It's just the way I am. Make sure it's on there. Easiest way probably is upside down, as long as it doesn't stick to my paper. But even got some green in with it. Nice, nice. Okay, and roughly about here. I'm sure it probably gave a size somewhere along the line, but does it give a size? 10.5 centimetres, there you go. But I don't think we get to use it for anything else. And other than a bit of green in there, it will look alright. And even with a bit of green in there, I'm not going to worry too, maybe a little bit. Two bits of green in. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. And then the edge, which is here, I'm going to put towards the back, like so. And we are going to put a little, what do we think they are? I like flower samples. I'm going to put those on the table. So I'm just going to dip these in here. So they kind of got this one on the bottom. Maybe they're flower samples, maybe they're meant to be seed packets, I don't know. And if you go over the edge, then it has the sunflower one. Maybe they're posters. Like so. And lastly, a rose. I found that rose. Something like so. You can put them however you want. They've got one of them sideways. And then we take our see-through vase upside down. Nope, that way. It's not totally dry yet, by the way, and that's going to go and sit on top of them. It really will. Won't let go of me. Okay, put a bit more glue on top there. And the bottom, I guess. And while we're at gluing, might as well make a spot for our fruit basket, or whatever it is. Okay. Put you back on. That really wants to attach to me. Like so. And then the fruit one like this. And that is our table done. Not too bad, was it? Not too bad at all. So let me just rectify this. At the back here it's just slightly fallen, the lace. So I'm getting that put up, and I'm going to pop that to one side. And of course, as soon as I moved it, that fruit basket fell off. The other one's okay, it's staying. Oh, now it's fell. Probably too much glue. It's all falling apart. That's what I get for rectifying the lace there. Right, let me just pretty that up. Okay, and when I say pretty it up, I mean just put the lace back on because it wanted to fall off. Alright, next we are going to make a log flower type thing. So these three will stick together. 3 discs. And on top of this one is going to have a paper element, or on top of one of them, doesn't matter which way, just make sure that they are rounded. So it's up to you whether you put this, well, they suggest putting this side on first all the way around. I've already put the glue on for this one, so I'm going to put the top piece on. Okay. I'm not going to use wood glue for that. I'll just make sure. See if I can get you in any closer. I had the camera out for another build that I was doing, and I think that's as close as we're going to get. Really should change camera angle for you guys, but we are kind of getting there now. And then this is just going to go around. So you put tacky on the paper. There we go. I got rid of the big piece on the tacky. Not 100% sure where to put it actually. Let's put it over there. Okay, just going to put some tacky on here. And we're going to wrap it around. And hopefully it fits perfectly. Of course, one should test this first. Always. Make sure it's all the way down. And this also has decorations on it. I'm just going to marry it all up because I put my top on first before that. Okay, and that's what that looks like. Okay, not too bad. Right, don't need that yet. All that. We'll need this. Okay, and on top of here is going to sit another platform, this one, which I am going to tacky. I think I'm going to tack it straight on the table. So you kind of want it on this side. And I'm also going to do that other piece over here. And then we have some paper elements which are going to go here. So I'm going to get those 3 on and not the beads just yet. Let's see, I want this here. Then this one, go towards the back here. And that's going to have a plant in it, which is what that's doing. Then we are going to have these 2 envelopes, which you kind of want one off me, like so. Little love hearts on the back, how cute. And one going across, like so. It probably doesn't matter if you choose to do it a little different, it's not going to be the be-all and end-all. Then we are going to want a tiny bit of green plant, so a bit towards kind of the bottom-ish, and it's not going to be huge, so not that. So maybe down to here, and pop that in. And also the beads, so I had 3, there's the other one. And this I'm going to put Sataki on paper up here, and that will be this one done. So I'm zooming through to do something a little bit different to what we have been doing, and just going to pop that in there, maybe a bit more, make sure it sticks in there. I have the shape, so it's not helping, is it really? Okay, I'm going to put my 3 beads and I can catch them. In here. Well, would have been good if it was glued side down, but and it doesn't matter which order you have them as such. Where's the other one? There it is. I'm just going to squeeze that in there. And that, my friends, is this one done as well. So we are zooming through today. A lot easier doing this type of thing, isn't it? Next, get to the page. We're now on page 15. Nope, we're on page, I went the wrong way with the book. We are on page 17. So quite a few pieces on this one. So we have one of these to make. So this was actually caught on the paper fold when I got it, so we will just do what we can. Bear with me. Okay. Well, I better get some of that glue off my hands. So we are lining these up on top of each other. We're going to be putting a butterfly on. So they're wood, so I'm going to do it with wood glue. And line those up. And then pop this one on top as well. So it makes a little planter on top there. Slightly different to what we did with that other one. And we make 2. And they're going to have different coverings. Okay. Well, that's taken a moment, not long, just a moment or 2 over there. I am going to make the birdhouse because that's going to take a moment too. Okay. Use the ruler, need my pointy stick. Need to put the lid on this because that's how I always lose my pins. My daughter found a pin the other day. It's like, yeah, it happens. So I'm going to need some of these plants, don't need the lace. Do it that way. Alright, so like we've done before, just gonna knocked over my table. Oh, it had taken enough, there it was okay. Like I say, it's kind of a shame it's got to have a crease right in the middle of it because it wasn't my doing. Maybe I should go over that middle bit with a black marker and that will hide it at least. Oh, that's quite nasty, isn't it? Quite a nasty bend all the way down there. And like this, and then we're going to put a little bit dab of glue on the end, which I have some tacky still on my board. So I'm going to dip it in there and wrap this around. So I'll square square it off on my marks, not their mark. Well, that's definitely the problem with some of these kits, when the pieces, they put on too big a paper for the boxes, and therefore it does not, it damages them really. Like this one's quite damaged. It's going to go on a roof part. This blue roof part will go on it, so it will rectify it, but I might give that a moment over there. Now we're going to bring these boxes back, and I'm going to do the same as what I did before, put tacky on the back. I don't like it, it's like that. Okay, so start with one. They're both the same size, so I'm going to put it on both. Getting ready to do the other one too. And just roll it around exactly how we did that other one, except without the bottom one there wanting to play along. Could do with a little bit of glue on the end there. It's a little big for it, but not terrible. And it's attached. Okay. And then put this one on here. Do exactly the same. And they're going to have plants on the top, flowers. No surprise, right? And once that's done, the birdhouse is done. That is page 17 complete. So what we are going to want is, we want some of these leaves. We want 4, which I only have 4, so that's handy. Pretty certain it's this plant, yeah. And kind of want them all the way down. Oh, I don't have 4, I have 3. No, mine's going to have 3 then. That's because I probably used the wrong plant for that other thing. Okay, so they have 4. I'm going to have 3. You are going to put a bit of this in the base. And which one are we doing? We're doing this one right now. So, and I even counted 4. That was the 3rd thing. Don't worry about myself. So let's get the green in first. And then we dip them in there, these ones. And this is the one that also has a butterfly. So let's get some of this out. The other one I don't think uses any of this. I can't remember. Helps if it actually goes in the bag. And pick this up, put some more in. Okay. This was a little more central to you. You're probably creaking your necks to watch. And then put these in. And they take quite well. It's almost like, why bother to take them off the piece it was on, really. This one here. Then they went in together. Okay. And then A, go back in there. I guess before I put the butterfly in, I'll give it a moment to take. Okay, we'll go on with this one, which is even simpler in reality. So we are going to put this one in. You just stay there and make. Okay, this one's going to be a bit more easy. Not that that was hard. It just wants to move. So one's going to have this in the base, like so. And on top of it is going to have a sprig of this. Okay. And And that's the pieces that I have pulled for today, but I will go and grab more because those don't take long. So what you want is you want a decent bunch, basically. So something like this. And you want it quite low down, so they just sit in like so. Not quite like so, but like that. And that's that one done. It's going to go over there. That's going to go over there, just spare bits and pieces for now. And that one. And this one. Don't need this again for the moment. We'll seal it. We're going to go back to this one, and we just have our butterfly to put on. So I'm going to put that in here. And I chose the one that they had, that design, butterfly. And I can pick it up. Oh my goodness. It's big butterfly. I was going to say something else then. But nevertheless, it is. And they kind of have it towards the bottom-ish. So, something like so. Okay, we can go to the resting place. Then you have this one. I feel very sad about my birdhouse actually. I'm dipping it in. The tacky that I just put down. It can be all over it for what it matters, really. And you want it on the slanty edge of the paper. I should have painted this as well. Blue on the edge. And hopefully this will rectify it a little bit. I don't need. Put a bit of this in here, a bit extra. Trying to get that front sorted out because it's so bent with how they had the paper in the box. Needed a bigger box, or the paper split over more pages rather than a great big seam going down it. Okay, this is not right, by the way. It's terribly not right. I think because I can't square off that front, I'm finding it difficult to keep it all square. That's what I'm going with anyway. Okay, put the back on. Right, I think we're probably good enough. I don't think it's perfect. I think it's good enough. Oh, of course I knock it. Of course I do. Right, that's going to go to one side to dry. Right, that is what I had ready for today, and that only took us half an hour. Or just under. So let me go and get some more. And we will be doing some more plant boxes. Ooh, and several plants which are going to need wire. So maybe a little bit longer, but we'll see. Okay, so we have some pieces here, and I'm going to need to cut out some. And I also have some wood pieces which you're not seeing at all. Let me move it over here. So first of all, I'm doing one from the other page of these as well because it's the same principle. So what you want to do is you want to have a lot of this. You probably can do it with scissors if you want to, but let's do it right. 5.5, so up to here, and for the first one you are going to want 2. Give or take, and 2 at 4.5. Oh dear. And this is for the first plant, and then you're pretty much going to do it identical to the others, but I'll give you the measurements, but I'm going to, well, we'll see. And then 2 at 4 centimetres, so a very wobbly one. You can straighten them if you want. But it probably doesn't matter if it's a little bit on the bendy side either. So 2 at 4, 2 at 3. And this for the first plant, flower, leaves. And that's all you're putting them in them, except for the moss. I'm going to put some moss in. So all of these are pretty much the same. Just slightly different measurements, slightly looking different things. Then you are going to take them and you're going to curl their tops just a tiny bit. I have glue all over my hands, I need to go and sort that. Just a tiny bit so it stops them coming out. And you do that with all of them. And then for this one, it is, let's see which piece, this piece. So you want to be able to cut those middle bits out. So I'm going to fold it in half, but not glue it. Very important not to glue it, but you want to get your fold right. And then fold it as if you're going to glue it and cut out. It doesn't go through very well, you know. Okay. And then cut out these little white areas, so something like so. And then our wires are going to go inside there. So just like that, and it should be roughly the same. So I will be using a green marker to go around the edges of these, because when it's paper they always show the white. I'll just keep going along, and I will get that done, and I will get the other wires for this one curled and ready to put in, and I will show you what's next. Okay, so they're all cut out. These are all bent at the ends. Then what you're going to do is you are going to poke through the bended end. So you can do it 2 ways. You can either put it in this way, it will still come out of those holes. So I've tried several different ways to do this in the past. I've used different types of glue, not really had an awful lot of success. So I think what I'm going to do, and I'm not a strong one for this either, is actually use a tad of super glue just to hold them in place. So, and then what we do is, once that's done, oh, and I did go over the inner edges with some super glue. So I'm just going to go along, put my wires through and give that a moment, and then what I'll do is stick them all down, and then we get to cut them out. And it's pretty much the same principle for the other two that I have here. But what I will do is I'll give you the measurements. So you want it in, you probably want the longer ones for the big ones, so it goes down as far as the size of the leaves as well. So you just want them in there, as long as they're catching the glue. This is a longer one, so you probably want your smaller ones just down the far end here. And I'm just going to let those take, because I've tried it the other way of gluing and they just seem to always come out in reality, and it's always been like quite the disappointment. Let's put it that way. I'll just go all the way down and I'm just going to let them sit for a few minutes and then seal them, and I'll get the other ones ready as well. So this one, just make sure they're far enough, so close enough to that hole, because we will be cutting out the tops here and you don't want to have the wire in the way. Like we're cutting around the leaves is what I'm trying to say. I don't think I said that, but that's what I meant. So you want to make sure they're down far enough, closer to the hole, but not without going through it. Just checking myself, this is correct. And then what we will do is glue it after these have had a chance to set, and do it that way. This one's like, no, I don't want to go in. And yeah, it's really light now. Give that one a tiny bit more super glue. And like I said, first time I've used super glue on this, so we can experiment together to see if that is the fix of to stop them coming out, because I've done a few models like this, and I've always had trouble with those wires coming out, even after gluing them together. So let's give that a moment. And then for this one, is it this one? Nope, I don't believe it is. 2, 3, this one. So this one is going to be identical. You make your little loops, but you're not going to cut a hole through them. So you're just going to fold it, poke them through exactly the same, wait for it to dry. So again, I'm going to try, if this works on here, I will try the super glue method. I will do that loop at the end of the wires. The wire length for that one is 2 at 5 centimeters, 2 at 4.5 and 2 at 4. So obviously this one's a 4, that one's a 4, that's 4.5 centimeters for that one. And then I will get on and do the next one, which is over the page, which is this little one here, and that is identical to this, and it will be 3 centimeters, so that's the longest. So these ones, and you need 4, so all the way down to there will be 3 centimeters, and then 2.5 for the smaller 3. And I will get those done, and we can have a look, and I will go down the edges. I went down the inside ones of these, but obviously I'm going to do the outside ones, and then we're going to make our plant pots when they're all sitting there waiting to be cut out. So I'm going to get them to the cutting out stage, and then we can do the rest together. Alright, so those are already sitting there. They've had a beacon in between, and I am just letting them rest. So let's go on and do these pots. So they will need covering. I have not cut them out yet, but I will. So we start off with the sides. One of these. I'm actually going to use, shock horror, super glue for this, because they're very small pieces, and even though I prefer wood glue, I don't really want them all moving all over the show. So let's get that lined up a bit better. I struggle with wood glue so much, with super glue rather, so much. I can't keep my bloody hands still. Oh, look how off that is. Really, really, really. Okay, we'll put that the other side that hasn't had anything done to it. I'll come back to that side then. Wants to stick to me. Maybe I shouldn't have used wood glue. Hold on, I haven't got delivery. Okay, not quite the delivery I was thinking it was. I'm not going to use super glue. I've changed my mind. I'm just not obviously very good with it. Okay, so this one will go on here. Why can I sit it perfectly fine first time around, and then the little box one will go on here, the end, and you're not going to have one the other side, so just this one. This would be easier with tweezers though. Those tweezers need mending, cleaning. Squeezed on there. And then you're going to put this one on. Oops. It says no. At least it's easier for me to blooming adjust. I do struggle with super glue. It seems to be okay. If I'm trying to mend something, I seem to be fine with it, but I think it literally, like I say, I think my hands are too unsteady, so I end up moving them before they've had a chance to take the 10 seconds or whatever super glue needs to take. And I think I end up just moving it. So this is what we got. So a nice actually brown and white flower pot this will be. So I'm just going to put that to one side for a moment, and we will do the same with this one. This one I'm going to put the little bit in first, so quicker, make it a bit easier. So this one down here, turn that around so I can see what I'm doing. Got lots of green on here still. So one of these will have, I think both of these will have that green stuff inside actually. And then what I'll do is I'll get all these cut out. I'm, like I say, I've been doing the edges green of the paper, otherwise it's just too white for me. And I like white, but I think they stand out too much for those flowers. And I think most of the flowers we need bending once they're in, by the way. The wire needs bending, and we will see if that helped by super gluing it down first or if it made no difference, because I have had quite a bit of problems with that going through. Oh God, I seem to have a lot of problems with models, don't I? Well, that's why it's a channel that I have. It's, you know, I make the mistakes so you don't have to. But super glue is one of those that you would think will always be wonderful. No, nobody would ever struggle with super glue. I think it is to do with the fact that, like I say, when I pressing down, my hands are a bit unsteady, so I end up moving it from the pressing down state. Maybe wood glue's a little bit more, it will stay wet for longer, so if I do accidentally move it, which obviously I will, then I can rectify it easier than super glue, which I can't seem to rectify at all. Okay, and that's our two boxes, which will have two different paper wrapped around them. So I'm going to pop that there, get these cut out, get our flowers cut out, and then we are ready to finish this up for today. Actually, before I cut out those little flowers, procrastination and all that, I'm going to put these on while the boxes are still drying. The puppy's having a good bark at probably the neighbour. Oh my gosh, so dramatic. She is really dramatic in her barking. Hold on, let me go see what she's barking at. Okay, she was very dramatic. I think the neighbour came out, and obviously I really needed to know. Ooh. Probably not the most sensible thing to have the join on the a corner. Get this going round. I don't see any lines. Oh, I guess I do. You know, there are lines on the paper of where it's meant to go. Did not see that, otherwise I would have scored it. But I am sure you're not going to see much of this. Doesn't quite reach all the way, by the way. Or mine doesn't. Yours may. It's got a little gap back there. It's kind of okay. Alright, and I've already put the glue on this one, so I'm going to have the same issue. But it does definitely have lines on it. Quite dark lines too. Just didn't notice them. See if I can give it a squeeze. And this one falls a little short too. Okay, those can be sitting there. Take it. I've close the door so she can't go outside right now, because otherwise she will be barking. My neighbour's been on vacation and they're trying to get things back to normal. You all know how that goes. Okay, right. So next I am going to cut these out and colour them with my pen around the edges. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes for you. A couple of seconds for you. I apologise, I got that wrong. All right. All cut out, gone around the edges. Tedious. Allow yourself a good hour or so. But I think this is the last of them. So these ones were probably the worst because you want to cut in between. There's like several slits that you want to cut out. So they probably took the longest. Needless, let's get on with this. So first one we are going to deal with is this one, which looks like, I lied, which is this one, which looks like this. And we're going to want to put some green in the bottom here. And these leaves, so hold the top, you want to do a 90-degree angle. So I don't think we do this with, well, certainly don't do it with that one. I don't know about the other one. So 90-degree, and then we will have these pots finished, which we'll finish for today, and we can find out what we got coming on. Hopefully something away from doing some of the plants. I know, it's a garden, what do you expect, right? Okay, so we can finally use a bit of glue for something else. Okay, so in we go, so we can get our green in there, and then we can stick our, oops, it's in there too. So I only use these tweezers, they can need cleaning anyway. And we're going to need green in the other one as well, by the way. I don't know if we need it in all three little pots. So there's 2 pots we're making, and 1 pot is already done. So let's just put these in. It doesn't overly matter how. They all should be different heights anyway. Push it to the bottom, make sure it doesn't come out the bottom, which it shouldn't be able to do because we got a base. And you might want to put a few more green in afterwards as well. Just make sure that they're kind of all in different directions. Okay, so it looks something like so. I'm going to put a bit more green right down the middle here, if I can get in there. I've got glue all on the end of my tacky. Just dollop it in here if I can. And soon I will take my puppy out for a walk. It might be a bit hot, a bit worrying, isn't it? Anyway, so you have something like so, and these are all different angles and just look nice and natural with a little bit of greenery. And then we are also going to put greenery in this one, and this one is for the longer leaves, the ones which are a bit more of a pain to cut out. And you are going to want some green in here too, but these ones are staying straight, so you don't have to bend them at 90 degrees. So again, I'll put some of this in and just pop these in so they're all kind of pretty much straight up. And again, I'll push them all to one side and put some glue in them, so drop some more green in there. Got plenty around right now, so down here, and then arrange them after that. It's like snowing. Stuff is messy. Whoever said that, and you want these close together and upright. Yeah, just make sure you've got enough glue going around. Okay. and that one's done. Go to one side to dry, or to start drying. And then this one, these are all upright as well. We don't need to knock these down. And again, do we need green in the bottom? No, we don't. But you know what? If a bit of green slips in there, because I've got quite a lot round, it's not going to kill either. And this one's going to go in this pot, which is a bead all the way through, by the way. So just be aware of that. And that's this plant done. And then tomorrow, day 6, we will start doing some furniture. We are going to make, well, I'll go through it in a moment. Let's get this in. So I'll just pop these in. Don't really need tweezers to do this. You don't have to bend them, just put them straight in. Now there is no bottom to this. Doesn't say to put cotton wool or anything in the bottom, or paper towel like some of them they have. Just again have them all slightly different, faced in different ways when I get them in there. Well, hands, and like so. Okay, it's kind of cool though, isn't it? Cool looking. I know it's small. Kind of cool. Alright, so let me get rid of this carefully. I'm sure it will stick to everything. And this. Right, let's see what we have done for today. Let me get rid of this. Hold on. Okay, and this is what we have done today. So we've actually done quite a lot. So I'm obviously none of this is dry. This is more dry. With the little pictures around there, and these are all beautiful. That one's got its little butterfly on here. Only one I'm really not happy with it is my mailbox here, or my bird box, just because of that horrible crease down it. But we have our little plant as well, our little purple one, very pretty. I really like the purple one. I do like a little bit of colour. And we have these, which I actually think look alright. Glad you put a little bit of green on top there. It just does finish it up somewhat. I think it has the, does that have the end? So this join actually worked out better, didn't it? Just this one that didn't so much. Okay, alright, so that's what we have for today. I will be finding this green around forever, I am sure. So tomorrow, like I say, we are starting on doing some other bits and pieces. So we're going to make a pencil. We are also going to be doing an easel and a footstool. Going to make a piano, so that should be fun. And if we get further than that, then we're going to do a stool, some books, unless I've already made the books, can't remember, a guitar, some pictures, a basket of flowers. So, oh, with a kitty cat, how cute. Alright, so let's see how far we get. But we are halfway down page 19, and we will be starting with the easel for sure. So I hope you're enjoying this build. All these little bits and pieces I know are quite a lot, but we will be actually getting onto the base. Let's see, we're on page 19 right now, and we will be getting onto page, when do we actually work on the base? Ooh. Oh, it's a little way, guys. 27 for sure. 100% we will be on it by 27. So, and we're on 19, so we are getting there. All right, so thank you very much for watching. I do look forward to seeing you again. Any comments are very much welcome. Please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.